Like, we played a lot of games, so that YouTube content will keep coming through, which is good, and it's nice and easy to do. Actually, I'm not doing a lot of editing. I'm just kind of throwing it in. So even this intro, hi YouTube in the future, hi future me, will be there. This is where I go back and I actually edit that out. I'm just like, well. So yeah, part 2. I'm a little bit hopeful that we might get a good chunk of this done today. Yesterday when we started picking up, we got a lot of people discovered. So I think we're kind of in a good spot. So, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just go back into the genealogy lab of the Roottrees Are Dead. I joined the Blueprints Discord server so that I'm fully up to date with all that stuff. So, right, this is where we're at. We've got 12 out of 18. I'm pretty confident that he's correct. I thought he would be correct. I wonder if it's worth net searching that name and see if anything comes up. Because I'm pretty confident she's right as well. My dog literally just barked. Oi! He's got the zoomies. Oi! You! Lie down. Go. Go. Ooh, indeed. Sorry about that. Right. And now he's killing his duck. Every time, without fail. Okay, maybe there's a different picture for Clark Rafferty. Well, hold on. He will have a picture in the Free Spirits, won't he? He'll be in here. Clark Rafferty will definitely be in here. Because that's Pride. That's Miracle Jr. That's him. No, that's him. Because that's the... Yeah, right. Hold on. That's the original 5 children. That's the ones after. No, that's the next generation. And then the Free Spirits. Okay. Right. 5 pieces. Next generation. Free Spirits. So he will have a pic. He will. Hold on. Let's analyze this a wee bit. Brown eyes, a bit of a beard. Could that be him? To be fair, that could be Jim, couldn't it? That could be him. But we've already got him, so that's alright. Huh. Okay. The dog's calmed down now, at least. Okay, let's go to our computer and let's go Clark Rafferty and see if anything comes up. Clark Rafferty. Oh yeah, this is just, it shows us, it takes us through the album, yeah. So, I think that must be right, which tells me this could be wrong. I'd say that's right. Okay, let's start with a new lead then. Let's come into the day fresh, not focus on our perils of yesterday. and taking a fresh approach. So what do we have to work with? Let's have a look at our things and think to ourselves, right, where can we attack? So I reckon that this is a female and this is a male. I reckon that this is Zach. But we don't know what Zach's maiden name is. So that's not a route we can really attack just now. Because they said something about Zach being a bit bigger. Yeah. I don't want to just go and click and retrieve all the pictures, because then it bloats up our pictureware and we don't really know where to go from there, if that makes sense. Like, if I have loads of pictures, I might lose track of who's who. But if we only take pictures when we're attacking that, like going to figure out who that person is, we don't get confused. So, Sam. So this is Sam's the farmer person, isn't it? So Zach's office. So yeah, so Zach did become president. Zach became either second or third president. So hold on, I'm just gonna try. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna try it because. You know what? Yeah, I am. Hold on. Give me Zach's picture. Give me the bigger laddie. Alright? So... we go president, and he'll be second president. And I go, it's the bigger laddie. And we just go Zach, and we go Morden. Nope. Zach. Wilson? Okay. Unless it's this person. Hold on. Zach Morden. President the second. Bigger laddie. Ah! There you go. Bingo! Nice, so we got those right. So it's actually the singer that we got wrong. All the pictures are falling into place. So the eldest must be a girl then. You are totally right.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Roottrees family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
We have that. Okay, before I forget, WRTTD. Okay. WRTT News is your local investigative jazz radio station. Okay. During their news segments at 45 on the hour, they have been talking about the plane crash. This most recent hour, they also talked about the picture taken of Carl's office. There was a plane crash and promised an interview online with a psychologist. Oops, we've got that. During the interview, it is revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to a recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, goes on to posit the culprit had alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. So we're dealing with a family member then. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the root tree curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture has evidence on it. The root tree curse. Oh. There is a long, rambling conspiracy website with very small, very red. It's a lie then. It's a lie. It's got red text on it. No, we're not bringing that across to this game. No. It's been very recently updated with the following important update. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 deaths now. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottrees Company have died mysteriously. They say that Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madison Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be a coincidence. There's another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 tree wrappers, it creates a May and Ruby skull. And a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. You gotta love, because people do this for day-to-day things. Like, conspiracists are everywhere. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corners simultaneously, 4 daytimes cubes, 2 daytime cubes. That's my brain. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at prodigy.us asking him to take his site with fake proof that Ernie Madison actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. Okay. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert in creating fake evidence. Shock. The first entry is from 1996 and has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence through some trees. It seems that Operation RT29 is real. I witnessed a helicopter land on February. For fuck. That's interesting. I want to take a note of that. I want to do this. I want to spider search this and see if it comes up. See if you put like an Easter egg in or something. Nah, good. Good boy. Okay, what's Operation RT29? You find more conspiracy websites. Some people out there claim that the Roottrees are changing the candy recipe to include more and more chemicals, and that it was done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. They claim that due to a loophole in the calendar, it's possible to get away with nearly any crime on a leap day, so long as it isn't discovered until the day is over. And that every 4 years on a leap year, the Roottrees Company hosts a meeting with 40... The worst part is you know these kind of freaking websites exist for companies. Like, you know that people do this in their spare time. Like, this just hurts. The proof is that the Roottrees candy contains polyglycerol polyclarinite, an ingredient of the candy that wasn't there when it first released. They claim that is added in an attempt to addict people and eventually induce mind control. The website claims to sell pills that counteract the effect for children. I've already... Oh, of course. Yeah. Shocking. Okay. Can we... Does that give me anything? Oh, it does. Oh! Okay. The Art of Rafferty. Blows a bunch of gifts that say under construction. There are a few art pieces. The first is a painting captioned "Me and my fiance, Lulu." A painting I did for my first year of college that I planned to give her when I get married in May. Go Tartans. There's an odd collage called Cousins, which seem to be made up of 3 scrambled images. The accompanying artist's statement says, "We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I'd never met. Only got a few of them back to me, and my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose, so I had to get creative and only use my third cousins. This includes Davy, he swims for Yukon, and Bethany's yearbook picture. She's Davy's younger sister, and Stephanie, who is an only child." Ah, that's worth knowing. Okay. Chris's artworks have been added to your evidence, but Cousin's photo will need to be unscrambled before you use them. You've downloaded a new application, Pixpop, to edit the photos. Have I? Excellent. Okay. Oh! Oh! Okay. I don't feel comfortable doing this. This feels weird. There we go. So that will be the yearbook photo. So that is Bethany. That's Bethany. Ah, okay. Which one's wrong? That one. That must be Stephanie. Because that's not the yearbook photo. Bethany, Stephanie, yep, so it just means this must be Davy. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, okay, this one will be a bit trickier. Okay. This one's going to be a lot trickier, actually. Ha. Okay. This one's going to be a thing. Haha! Nah! That was quite cool. That was a nice wee puzzle. Davy boy. Davy Jones. Okay, so we've got those. So this is... We'll make this something that this is Chris Rafferty, right? Davy has a younger sister, and Stephanie's an only child. Is there any... And because third cousins, and he can't use them, it must be on this row here. There is a couple of only children here. So, Stephanie's one of these two. Stephanie's one of those two. And... they're called Roottrees. Do we have anybody that might be called Rafferty? I don't think so. Well, you'd have these two, wouldn't we? Okay, there's not enough information to go on with that. Yeah, there's not enough information for us to go on with that one. Yeah, that's Davy. That's Stephanie. No, that's Bethany. That's Stephanie. And that must be Chris. With his fiancée Lulu. So, is there anybody on that line that gets married? No, there isn't. There is there. That could be Chris Rafferty. That must be Chris. Using that logic that we just had. It's the only one on the list that gets married. So that's got to be Chris. Chris Rafferty. That has to be him. Right? And he gets married to somebody called Lulu. I didn't expect that would be her proper name. But that must be... Like, that's the only thing that makes logical sense. You can go away. I just wanted rid of that. So, let's get a picture of Chris. Go, not to the computer. And it's... Lulu is short for Louise. Let's see. No, not in this case, it's not. That's an unknown female. Speaking of which, actually, we know that this is actually an unknown female as well. Unknown female. We don't know what they do. I think he said he was an artist as well, didn't he? Well, he was at art school, so artist isn't the biggest shout in the world, you know? Can I get any more information? Not really. Oh, that's interesting that that's not right. So if that's not him, that must be him. It's the only way that that makes sense. Well, that's not right either. It's because I put the wrong one in, that's why. That's on me. So that's Jane LaRue. Which means that's her. Okay. I think that that's right. Lucy or Lucille? We'll see if we've got any of them. No, we don't. We'll see if we can find out a little bit more information in a minute. We're going to go back to the computer. Search. First print uncaptioned. I wonder if I do this. I was hoping it'd give me just a little bit more information. I wonder what go tartans mean. Imagine tartans will be the whatever uni that is. Hold on. Only use my third cousin. A third cousin has the same great granddad. So dad, granddad, great granddad, great granddad. So using that logic, those two are out the question. Which means these two have to be Bethany and Stephanie. Not Bethany and Stephanie, Davy and Bethany. No, Stephanie and Bethany. Stephanie and Davy. Ah! Too many names. Because they're the only ones that it fits. There's two people there. Can't be them because they share with him. Unless it's those two. Okay. We've still got the only child problem. It could be either of those two. And we're still struggling with this bugger here. Because for some strange reason that's not correct. Might be the picture they're not happy with. I'd like to try and get these top people. We've got two of them. We know the oldest is a female. But we don't know how many more that there is. If I type in 5 pieces, hold on. Is that how it's spelled? I don't actually know. I.e. have I misspelled it, have I? Yeah. For market material of various candies, you learn that 5 pieces are the iconic candies sold by the Roottrees Candy Company. Although they're no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell the same. 5 pieces are small, colourful shell-coated maple candies that since the late 20s have been pressed with the shape of the maple leaf, although they usually have one flavour that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavours, but the shapes and combinations with the maple have remained consistent. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through the website, their image links are broken. Yeah, but if I do this... Is that not gonna... I thought that'd go straight into my periodicals. Damn it. Okay. It's not going to be that easy, is it? No. Search for Charles Lee. Not a bad joke. Yeah, no, nothing. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's search for Elias Roottree. It might tell us about his kids. Could have copied it correctly. Hold on, I've got a search periodicals button. Let's use that. Doesn't... Yeah. I haven't really actually searched this, have I? Yeah, I know I have. Oh. Okay. So let's look up Miracle Roottree. Let's look him up directly. Because he had two kids. Miracle Roottree. Oh, my typing today is not on point. So he's had two kids. Yeah, this is about him being born late. But it doesn't say anything about him getting married. So we don't find out who this is yet. Okay. Right, we're going to go back then to here. Because there's a lot of information in these pages, we know that. So Clark gets married to Danielle first. So do we have a Danielle? Danielle Franks. So that'll have to be her. That's his first marriage. Carl, because Pop forced him to go to the academy. Okay, so Clancy, who we know is this person, sends one of these to an academy. So, hold on. She raises twins. She said Zach's brother. But they don't break up. Huh. Oh no, that's Gwen. It's Gwen that breaks up, isn't it? Yeah, Gwen's the one that breaks up. Gwen came... Yeah, okay. Which tells us, hold on, Zach's not a bad president after all. And his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Which tells us these two are twins. So those two are twins. Okay. I'm going to note it down on my whiteboard. Zach's sister has twins. Okay. That's information. And Edward, whoever Edward is, takes over from Pop, who we believe will be this person, maybe? No, because that's what happens, isn't it? She's talking about him, and then he gives it off to him, and everybody goes, oh, scandal! Okay. Pop. Her father. So that's Pop to her. So somebody gets... So you must be Edward something. Okay. This is her moaning about Gwen. Aunt Margot. So that tells us that this is a female. Is there a Margaret? That could be her. And we know for a fact that she's a housewife. We know that. Because she was the first one that wasn't. So, hold on. The original ones. There's 2 women. We've got the other 2, which means we know for a fact who this is. That must be Eliza Jr. And we know whereabout he must be. Hold up. The first one was a female. If we assume that this is a female, this must be him. Right? Hold on. Just by pure deduction of logic. That must be him. Because that is a female. That is Margot. We just don't know which one of the 2 Margot is, and we don't know what he did. Right? That makes sense to me. And you would have been a housewife. Aunt Gwendolyn. Elijah Jr. designed the warehouse. So Elijah Jr. must be an architect. Right? That makes sense to me. Question is, using this, can we dictate which of the two these are? No, we can't. Spider search them? Not a bad shout, actually. Let's... Margaret root tree. Margaret root tree. No, nothing comes up. Oh, interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Carl Roottree's second cousin is Ernie Jr. Alright, that's not Elijah Jr., that's fine. That's female. I'm always gonna misspell that one. Huh. Okay. Okay. Not getting any information on her just now, so... Let's see if we can work our way down then and try and get some of these filled in. Because that might not even be right either. Like... So... Let's see what's next. So, the next generation is... that row. Oh, here you go. I wanted to stand next to Eli all the way to the left. But I was outvoted, since to me he looked like a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They instead insisted that the four of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. That's these four. Which tells us these are all brothers. These are all men. They are all men. The only one that was too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Come on. Which, she was away in Paris at the time, wasn't she? Yes. Right. Oh, that's the free spirits. I'll get to that in a minute or two. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us knew why including Sam. I also didn't think it was fair Miracle made it, since he's technically a 5-piece. That's you there. I guess my inner child still holds that grudge over all these years. Okay. No! Is that Miracle Jr. then? If that's Miracle, is that Miracle Jr.? I bet Sam is a love child. What a bastard of the family, basically. That's from when they were taking the pictures. They're like, alright, okay. This is the free spirits. Christ. We've got a lot of names there. But they're not in order, which doesn't help. Carl is the teenager in the middle, so that's Carl. I mean, it does look like him, I suppose. Doesn't help us that these names aren't really... On the back of the photo, there's a childish print writing. It says November, so this could be November. I don't really have any leads at the moment. Right, this is getting tricky. So, right, let's go back to the computer. Ernie Madsen, hold on. Huh. Well, we know that this person must be called Morden, right? And it must be a man. That must be James Morden. That has to be. Because she's marrying him, and he turns out to be a Morden. Is there any females with the name Morden? There is. So, this is going to be one of them. We know that much. So... if we look up this boy here, Zachariah Morden. Nothing. Okay. Nicole sounds familiar. I have no idea where from. Let's go back to the Rafferty stuff I was looking at. So, I think that's them. I think this is Dave. David? Ah, that's not helpful. Will it be the fourth then? Surely it'll be the last one. And he's a sports star, a swimmer? College student? Where is he? Right? Which would make this his little sister, which was Bethany. Is it Bethany Kellogg? She was... Yeah, hey! There we go. So those are the three we got right. Okay. So Elias Jr. was the architect. Yes. Booyah. Oh. Phone's ringing.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it. But I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed.
We figured it out. Figured it out before you told us.
I assure you I
Dun,
have
dun,
a
dun.
explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of.
So if you're right then, let's make the assumption. We're going to make the leap of logic and say that Sam isn't welcome. Maybe a love child. So maybe she's going to reveal it. Or maybe she is Sam.
A little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
I just casually, I have 15 more, Ryan, you go. We're struggling with what we're doing. Right, well. Let's use a little bit of logic. Okay. If this, it's David Kellogg the fourth, this would be David Kellogg the third, right? And because we know that this is a female with the name Morden, this person must have the name Kellogg as well. No, so you must be Kellogg. Is there any more Kellogg's? There isn't. Oh, okay. I take it back. I'm a bit confused. Don't know where the name Kellogg comes from. Might be you. You might be David Kellogg the third, which would make you a female. That works out, doesn't it? If that is David Kellogg III, this would be a female. That works out. Yeah, that works out. Now, we know we've got a single child, but it could be either of these two. Or it could be... No, it couldn't be you. It's got to be one of these two that the other young girl is. So, what we'll do is you... This was Stephanie, wasn't it? So, we'll just... For now, we're going to say this is Stephanie. Oh, that doesn't help. Oh no, there's only one Stephanie. Cartal. And you would be K12. If we get to the next round and that's not been confirmed, what we'll do is we'll move her over to there and see if we can confirm it. What's bugging me is this is not came through as confirmed, and this is not came through as confirmed. We know that this is Clark Rafferty, and we know that that's him in the picture. So maybe he changed career, because it says use the person's most recent occupation. So maybe Clark Rafferty changed career when he got married the last time. We also don't know who he finally got married to either. So Sam is in this picture. That must be Sam. Using our logic, that must be Sam. Because that's her 4 brothers. That's Zach. We don't know who that is. So wait a minute. How many do we have in that picture? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there 6 people in that picture we've not got identified? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there is. Because she didn't make it. Okay. Right, can we find out more about her brothers? Oh, ow, I've got a really sharp eye there all of a sudden. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Oh god, my eye is sore. Oh. That didn't come through as correct. So let's do that. Because she looks blonde and she's blonde. I know that's a stretch and a half. But something I've got. And let's try and work out these. Which means if that's the case, this would be you. But we don't know your name. That's the problem. We don't know the name of their firstborn. Let's type in Gwyneth Anderson and see if it might hint at the name of their firstborn. I'm sure I've already typed that in before. Gwyn Roottrees. That's not what I was looking for. Anderson Maples. It'll say something about Gwyneth Anderson. Yeah, that. Let's see if it says anything about her firstborn. No, it doesn't. Before Elias took over the farm, it was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy. Yeah, so it's just telling us about. Does that give us anything? No, it doesn't say. Just hoping for the firstborn. Huh. Okay. Just for a name. I mean, I suspect it's going to be Roottree. We know that. We know that much. Okay. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, the hourglass is the same. We've got no more hints there, so that's not going to help. We've done this. We know that that's for brothers. See if we can find an order. At least get names. Gwendolyn is the eldest of the 5 piece. Gwendolyn, where did you get that from? Doesn't say that she's the oldest, though. See anything about it in here? Angie is older than Zach, so that tells us that this is going to be somebody. Angelica Morden, that's who that'll be. Different game, does that mean we beat the blueprints or the puzzle? Red herring. We kind of folded our arms and accepted defeat with blueprints. We did the best we could with it, but I think it's time to leave that to the professionals. I've joined the Discord server for blueprints, and there's a lot of discussion about what actually is left to do in the game, and I am actively involved in that conversation now. But yeah, I thought it best to move on to another game. So right now we're playing the Roottrees Are Dead. It is another puzzle game where you have to decipher a family tree, essentially. The Roottrees, Carl Roottree and his family, these guys, died in a tragic car crash. And now there's a lot of money up for grabs if you are a direct relative of the Roottrees. So we are going through trying to figure out who is who and who is what and when is where and how is who. And putting them in the right places. The game is a bit sneaky in how it does things because it only shows you if you've done it right if you lock in 3 people. So for example, these 3, when we started, it only showed up that they were in the correct order once we put all 3 in. As you can see, we put people in places that we think they are, and they've not been confirmed because we don't have 3 people correct. Once we get 3 people correct, those 3 people will lock in, but everybody else that's wrong still won't. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. How many units to tell them that? Trying to see. Is there another? Could Clancy be one of the sons? Looks like Clancy is one of the sons. Sam is this person that we don't. Right. Sam is the daughter of Elias Rootree. So, this is Sam. So is there Sam Rootree? Samantha Rootree. And if our logic is correct, that's her. But we don't know what she does. Farmer? I was thinking that. I'm sure I read it somewhere. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, Essie and John. Yeah, she's a farmer. So that could be correct, but we won't know until we've got others locked in. You think Gwendolyn here? I don't know where you got it from, though. That's Gwendolyn Morden. Gwendolyn Rootree. Oh, well done. I don't know where you got it from, though. So, what have we got locked in? Oh, okay. Excellent. And we've got the Kellogg guy locked in as well. Okay, that tells me a couple of things. So, let's booyah that. That's wrong. It said Gwendolyn on the... Did it? Oh, Auntie Gwendolyn. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. I completely overlooked that. That tells me then that this must be Stephanie Cartel. This one. She is a student. And that's her. Okay. Still, these two are wrong, which bugs me. Okay, so we've got all the 5 pieces, which is good. You're Auntie Angie. And we've got the males here. But we don't... We know one of them's called Clancy, but we don't know what order they're in. This is the problem. We can't... So, that must be her. That has to be her. But we don't know what order these are in, and we don't know their names. That also tells me that you, little kid, must be you. Problem is, I really want to work these guys out. There's no hourglass here, so that tells me nothing's going to help me here. Different type of puzzling? Yeah, it is a different type of puzzle. It's... I don't need this as much. I don't need as much of my books or my thing. It's got its own wee notepad inside the game. And it's not an abstract puzzle. It's very much a... All the facts are there. It is purely putting them together. Like, we're not going to need a spreadsheet for this one. But all the same, I'm enjoying it. It's... If you've ever played a game called Return of the Obra-din, it is basically the same thing. And I really enjoyed Return of the Obra-din. So... And if you haven't played Return of the Obra-din, I would seriously recommend it. I think there's an Xbox Game Pass, if you've got that. So we've got Carl and Clancy. So wait a minute, can we confirm that Danielle got locked in? It did, right, okay. So that is definitely Clark. Maybe he's not a musician anymore. I'm going to look up Clark Rafferty again. Clark Rafferty. It just comes up with this, doesn't it? C and G. Actually, can I just history that? Miracle. Nah, it's not a lot. It's not giving me. Wait a minute. Hold on. We never looked this up. Aha! New route. To be fair, I tend to watch puzzle games with curiosity rather than play them. I don't have the patience required to get through them. That's totally fine. I get that. You find a few details about this particular incident with regards to the Clancet Trust. We know about the Clancet Trust. A student that attended the lecture wrote about it on the following legal audits record. From what you can tell, RR attempted to unsuccessfully remove a fellow member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clancet Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottree without completely dissolving the trust. Right. Okay. Who's RR? Who's RR? Root tree. There's somebody with the first name that begins with R. Robert and Ronald. So maybe it's one of these two have tried to remove somebody. Maybe. Okay. So, also, let's check something. Samantha Roottree. Would she keep that name if she married a man? Probably not. So, that must be Sam Cartal then. That must be Sam Cartal. She's kept her name. Beta has to do something with Gwyneth because of the string. The string? Oh, that. It's not Gwyneth, though. Gwyneth is the... It's her. She's the founder. The string leads to Samantha. But we're nowhere near even getting close to that yet, so... We've still got to... There must be a way I can figure out these guys' order and find out what she did. The actor? Oh, her. Oh, because of this red string here. Maybe. Yeah, you got... So maybe then that's our... But that's going to be our boys, isn't it? That's going to be them two. Hold on. We know who they are. That's them. We don't know which one's older and which one's not, but it's going to be them two. I mean, we never found out who she married. We did get a hint. Where did we get a hint from? It was here, wasn't it? In complaints. Here. So it could be she gets to be in Starlit and tell tales as how she gallivants around the world kissing the likes of Harrison Lane or Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottree woman to do anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. So that would tell me then, hold on, you're a housewife. So let's, hold on. Let's start there. There we go. Here we go. You find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available in VHS. Okay. Harrison Lane was a television actor with a major role in Guys Like Us and some other films. His largest role before Guys Like Us was a villain in the first series of Western Frontiers. Due to the popularity of Guys Like Us, the studio brought Lane back to play the villain's twin brother, this time as a hero joining the protagonist. Western Frontiers has no connection to the Roottrees. Harrison Lane seems to be a dead end. Did you know Harrison Lane married his high school sweetheart after reunite? Oh, that's nice to know. Okay. So that's nothing. What about you? You find blah, 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 blah. Wild Bill Williams was the leading man for some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favours the Grave, which has yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any additional information about that film. Okay. He was known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes. He was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumour that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party and that she was already aware of his reputation. Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. He returned there often. Wild Bill Williams could be who she married. Just because it's... Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. He often returned there, and then there's a picture of her in Paris. Doesn't give you much more, does it? Who are you? There isn't even a did you know trivia section about her. Wow. Oh, oofed. What about Christmas mission? Is there any information on that? No. No. Okay, now we're starting to struggle a wee bit. I don't really have any direct vibes. Like, we know for a fact, okay, but it's not a lot of information that these two are her boys. So they're going to be the two gingers. Okay, we know that. But we don't know who she married. We don't know what they do. So that's not helpful. We know that this is Mr. Chris Rafferty here. But we don't know what he does. Clark Rafferty seems to be wrong, which tells me I probably got the wrong picture. Because we know that that is definitely Clark Rafferty. Check to see if Will Bill's on the list of names. It's not a bad shout, actually. I highly doubt it, though. Wild. Yeah. What about Williams? Yeah, Williams isn't even on it. Bill, maybe? No. We know for a fact that you, mister, are in this picture. All I want to know is what's happened to my hourglass. It seems to have disappeared, hasn't it? Like, you remember how I got that hourglass that said you've got this many hints? It seems to have just disappeared. Like, no matter where I go, like, it's there. When I do that, it pops up. Oh, is this the only... These are the only ones that we've got things for. Ah, okay. That's fine. So... how does that Free Spirits not have any hints? We know for a fact that Carl's there. Clark is there. You can see it right there. He is somewhere in here. So if we assume that... There's Eli. There's somebody called Eli. So we know that that's not him. That's a female. That could be Chris. That could be Clark. That could be Clark. That looks like James. Like, that totally looks like James, doesn't it? I wonder if it's complaining because it wants this instead. So we know that there must be one of these guys called Eli. I mean, that doesn't really help. We think you're called November. Okay. This has apparently got... Right. This Ernie Jr. keeps popping up a lot, doesn't it? So he's a second cousin of Carl. Okay, hold on. Second cousins have... So you must be Ernie. No, second cousins. So it could be anybody. Nah, that didn't help. Because cousins have the same grandparents, but not the same parents. Second cousins have the same great-grandparents. Yeah. So that doesn't help at the moment. What's MMM magazine? We've not actually looked at that. Oh, here you go. MMM is an abbreviation for Modern Music Monthly, a magazine from the 40s to early 80s. It went out of business due to high competition with public... Okay. So, we've got a new periodic, at least. So if I do this... Nope. Oh no, what I would do is this, wouldn't I? Aha! A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has a short, pitchy blurb about new records. An album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following. These Times, a new single from C and J and D, Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottree and the two LaRue sisters. Amateur folk style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. Okay. We already know who they were, so that doesn't bother me. But I've seen I've got 4 more hints. So what happens if I check out this person? And you. That's all it says? Damn. Okay. Here we go. Their website has a news section under offers condolences for the Roottrees sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by magazines and management champions. So can I do that? Doesn't tell me a lot. But at least we've got another magazine, which is something. They don't really have... They've got 2 kids. Hold on, let's see. Let's search for you. Let's search for this. In here. Oh, here you go. There you go. We've got a blurb. We're back in business. A review and interview from 1970 titled A Reluctant Hitchhiker. Jim goes into his first band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J and J&D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the 4 of us sort of had a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. So is there another LaRue? There is. So I bet you that's Kim. It will be. That'll be Kim. Because, look, Rafferty LaRue is a double-barreled name. So those two kids will be Jessica and Katarina. Yes. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music. But even then, we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told rolling is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he came up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made me laugh. I'm not trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of these because he'd agree. For the most of the decade he was a mess, but he's happier now. He started the Raffer tunes. And he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the wall over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. So wait a minute. Okay, what's the Raffer tunes? We're on to something here. So Clark might have got a new job. A website about Raffer tunes. Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. Hold up. That's Clark. Was trying to get Katarina, his youngest. So Katarina's the youngest. So this is Katarina LaRue. This must be Jessica. They're both still kids. So they'll both be still K-12s. He is no longer a musician. He works in advertisement. Hey! Oh! Get in there! And we're not quite done yet. We know that this is Kim LaRue. We're assuming that this is the youngest and this isn't. Oh, we're cooking. We're cooking. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and his children. And when his wife was trying to get his youngest Katarina to calm down for the picture, he had an idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. Photo is now in your evidence. The Roottrees Maple Super Bowl ad commercial from 1994 has a family bickering in the department store, and the father bites into a Roottrees Maple crisp. Time stops and a jingle plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, different things from the department store become Roottrees candies. For example, a bed the father claps on becomes a giant chocolate bar. The jingle, Need the Rest, went on to feature in other commercials with other scenarios. There you go. We're back cooking now. The jingle goes, when you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's never enough to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. Fair enough. Oh. Right, chat, give me 2 seconds. I need to come get my phone charger. Whoop, 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 whoop. No! Stop being nice to him! Slaughter him! Yeah! No! Slaughter him! Yeah! I'm sorry, Graham. I see dead people. Exactly like you said, Callum. Exactly like you said. Ah, no!
Excuse me, are you yours?
Rude. I'm about to be worried. I'm about to be worried. I'm about to be worried. Oh, it's so satisfying when you get that snippet of information and then you go down the rabbit hole and then suddenly you're like, bish bash bosh, thank you, mosh. So you are Clark. That is definitely Clark, yeah. We're getting there. Slowly and steadily. I couldn't help myself.
Saturday night and you're quite a sight. The world might be burning, but I'm feeling right. Making ends meet, so they rent and
So I've got 2 more guys. One is called Eli. So that must be Clancy. No, it's not going to be Clancy, is it? Eli M. So that must be Ernie Jr. then. Oh no, because we've got another guy there. Okay, so we're still in that problem.
on wheels we glide with you by my
So what we've got Eli.
big car and fade. Make love, not hate. They fight overseas, but we'd rather
So Eli's one of her brothers.
say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
I mean, there's 10 here.
Politicians at large are hopeless. The bankers in charge are all clowns.
Christ, there's a lot.
Better than protest. So signs up while we be dead.
Right, wait a minute.
Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling.
Oh, we've already read this, haven't we? Her mother, Caroline, a local artist. So her mum was either one of these two. It's called Caroline. Caroline Morden. She was an artist. CM? Yeah, I've seen that as well. So, who would be writing? Hold on, let me just... Who would be writing to Carl? Caroline Morden. It would be our mum. It's our mum that's writing. So, hold on, can I... Caroline Morden. Here you go. Much about Caroline person, mostly just listing of art in Butler County. She seems to be getting top billing. Accompanying the story is an image of Caroline standing beside a big metal sculpture mermaid. This caption is it's captioned Caroline standing next to her. Okay, the sculpture is one of many works featuring in an upcoming book self-portrait art. Okay, hold on. According to a quote further down, Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolize society split. So hold on. So that's the mother. So that is you. Yes! Ah, beauty! Get all of it out of the way. So, using that logic, Caroline Morden would be a free spirit, wouldn't she? So Caroline Morden will be in here. That's Caroline Morden. Yeah, purple top. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. So, using that logic, Caroline Morden must have probably married somebody called Landon. So is there another Landon? Mark Landon. So she'll have married Mark Landon and broke up. Now, remember, she didn't grow up with a father. So it'll be a lesbian relationship. Or a lesbian care guardian relationship. Very progressive for this time, to be fair. Okay. Okay, so we can take that and go, author's name is Caroline Morden. Caroline Morden. And the book's title is, nope. The book's title was this. There we are. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. The centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Very good. Okay. Okay, very good. Well played, game. Well played. In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn Morden. Okay. Excellent. And she'll be somewhere in there as well. My sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on their dreams to settle for boring men. So, you are Bonnie? Bonnie? Is there another Hudson? We've heard about Guy Hudson. Guy Hudson was hit by a car. And died. We've heard of that. I know I've heard of that. Set for boring. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. So, brother-in-law is here. What was his last name? Did she say Hudson? Wilson. There's 3 of them though. That does not help me. Not even a little bit. Brother-in-law is... like, if my brother got married, that woman would become my sister-in-law. Their marriages led to her double down on passion of arts and environments. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees Company's effect on the local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to the policy. So her father, Zach, okay, you knew that. She explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative. Mark, how many Marks is there? Mark Landon. Oh, we already know that. That's fine. And leaving the only good thing he ever gave her, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good, pushed her to pursue her true love's art and the beauty of woman. Okay, that gave us a lot of information. So, hold on. That's not going to be Guy. That's going to be Guy. And I know this because he was president. 3rd president. The question is, which one of these is he? Is Guy here? Next president, Guy Hudson. So Guy's here. So let's use process of elimination. Who do we... We know that this is Eli, so the only 2 we've got are Ernie Jr. and Guy Hudson. I think she dedicated the book to Eloise and Stephanie. Did I miss that? Oh! Oh! So you must be Eloise then. Good catch. I missed that. Good catch. So Eloise must be her partner. Very good catch. So I think that this is Guy. Why isn't that being done? That's Jim. We know that. Oh, have I not put it in? Oh, that's fine. Get it out my thing. So, guy died. I remember reading it. I remember reading it. So I'm going to make the... See, she married somebody called Christopher Hudson. This is Guy. The question is... Who in this is Guy? It's not him. So it's either him or him. Now... They two look like they could be together. So let's go and check to see. No. No, that's not going to work, is it? You know. That's not going to fly. Right. I'm going to take a stab at this. And I'll give you my reasoning afterwards, okay? Why am I suggesting that? Ginger, 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 ginger. I know it sounds really stupid, but I think I remember sometime back in biology that the ginger gene is actually quite commonly passed down, isn't it? Like, it's not a... Because, I mean, Ginger, she might have died right here. I see the pattern. So, that leaves us with... We've got to work out who you are. So using that logic then, you must be Ernie. But we don't know who that is. We know that he dies. And they have a kid. Could be there. Because we assume that that is out of wedlock. It would have to be there. Ernest Madison. So that could be who you marry. Ernest Madison. So let's make the leap. Ernest Madison. You marry him. This is then Ernie Jr. who becomes the fourth president after marrying, who was it? This woman, this person. Debbie. So, do we have a Debbie? Deborah Bean. So do we have another Bean who's a kid by any chance? We don't. Oh, it wouldn't be. It would be a Madison. Madison. We've got two. Because that'll be the kid. That'll be the kid. Do we get the kid's name from here, though? Nicole. Nicole, yeah. So if we use that logic then, you, Mrs. and you, Mrs. would go in here. So you would be that. You would be that. You, Mister, would be this boy. You would be Nicole Madison. Yes! Yes! Oh! Look at him go! Oh! Brilliant. Okay. We didn't know what occupation she does. So there's only one there's only one guy left, which is Eli whatever. And we've got three females and a daughter. Okay. Okay. And we've got 3 more to go before we get more exposition. Okay. Whoop whoop, yeah. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. Okay. So, is there another Madsen that we haven't identified? There's only one Madsen, which is Gwyneth. So, is there any... doesn't it? Does she, I mean, she doesn't look too... we don't have her... I mean, does she look... I mean, they're both wearing glasses. Both got similar hairstyle. And she'll marry somebody called Cattell. She marries Sam Cattrall. Her name is on the paper. Yeah, but all of their names are on the paper. Gwyneth Madison. Gwyneth Madison. Yeah, we've already got it. That's fine. We've got her name. Just confirms. Yeah. So, okay. We know that that's Gwendolyn. Can we make... I don't want to just make any jumps. What have we got? Who's our 2 choices? Oh, none. We've only got 1 choice now, and that's you. So you are you. So... Eli is going to be one of these 2. But isn't there somewhere that Eli's his second cousin? Hold on. Ernie Jr. His second cousin, Ernie Jr. Oh no, we've already done Ernie Jr., haven't we? There, yeah. And it is his second cousin, okay. Okay. We are cooking. We are cooking. We don't know what these people do for a job, so that's something we're going to have to figure out. I'm sure there's something about... what she didn't like her for. Let's go back and read that. Nah, it didn't say anything. Let's type in Bonnie Hudson and see if she'll pop up. I don't think she will. I think we're getting to the point now where just typing in their name isn't going to do anything. Yeah, I don't think so. We're getting to the point in the game where the game's like, no. You're not just getting it by typing in. Gave up on their dreams for boring men? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. Right. Okay. Hold on. Because they are part of the... Eli, Miracle's youngest. Eh? You must be Eli. But there's two. Of course there's frickin' two. But we now know where his picture goes. And it must go there. But there's two of them. Of course there's frickin' two of them. Do we get any more information on it? Let's see. Eli, Miracle's youngest, even chimed in. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make his engine go faster. None of us think that proper of a multitude for reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. Doesn't tell me a lot. It does tell me that we know where Eli is, we just don't know. Because there is a Clancy, isn't there? If I go here, well, one of these is Clancy Jr. Twins, we know that. Ah. Couldn't help myself.
Saturday night and you're quite a sight. The world might be burning, but I'm feeling right. Making ends meet, so they rent and loot. We can't afford gas, so we skate in the streets. Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city. On wheels we glide with you by my side. Inflation is rising and so is our pride. Pick our own fate, make love not hate. They fight overseas, but we'd rather skate. Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
So Edward is going to be a lawyer. Because he takes over Pop. And Pop's a lawyer.
Politicians at large are hopeless. The bankers in charge
I just need to get the order of them intact, and I can't seem to do it. I need something.
guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That'll be in here. You're right. You're right. Which means that was probably going to be a female then. Because in the next generation, it'll be somebody that's not even there. Unless it's one of them. But I don't think it's going to be. No, you're right. I think you're right. I think you're right. Because we have agreed that this is the free spirits. But he is in the... He's not in the free spirits. He's in... No, he's not in the next gen. He's in the free spirits, as you can see there. Yeah, because these guys are one out. You've got to... Aye. No, I was right. I was right. These guys are one out. He was in the next generation picture. There. And that's the boy Miracle. Miracle Jr. Because he got to be in the both because he was younger. Because he was there. Then he was there. So no, I think I'm right. I think I'm right originally. I think that's right. I just need to get the order of the kids. I didn't think so. I thought that might have been a bit of a push. Hmm. Right. We need something to push us further along. Okay. 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 I'm gonna make a leap. Who's the two boys in the next gen photo? Next gen. This one. Next generation. So these guys are her brothers. We know that because they insisted that the four of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. So those are the four brothers. We just don't have the age range of the names and whatnot. So I'm not 100% sure. But also, what kind of marriages were illegal back then? I think it might have to do with the young lass in the photo, if you catch my drift. What, her? No idea. I'm focusing on this person just now. Ah, no, that could be that's a, no, I'm going way out. No, that doesn't check out. We know what the wee girl's called. The wee girl's called November. Do we have a hold on. I've never even tried this. November root tree. Okay, so is there a single slot? Not really. So it could be in there. November could be in there. No, she couldn't, because that, unless she marries a root tree, which she's not going to do. You've not married a root tree. November could be in there. That would make sense, though. Who's she standing next to? She's standing in front of Carl and next to Guy. Nah. Who are you? You're you, but we've already got your kid. You're alright. You're pregnant at the time, so what I originally thought, and the reason I thought it is this was Eli who spoke up. Eli M. Who spoke up. Eli M. Wait a minute. There you go. Eli M. Who spoke up when he went to see Sam, because Sam helped her fix his bike. Now, that I originally thought could be mechanic overlays. You know, mechanics wear the blue thing. But I think that might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe can we Google him, maybe? See if anything pops up. Eli M. Root tree. Damn it. The problem is we can't just type in Eli because that'll pop up. Was mechanic even an option? Bugger it. I'm just going to put it in. It's the worst that can happen. Right. Let's go back to you, Mrs. Let's find out who the feck you married. Right. We're going back down the Gwyn rabbit hole. I did not spell her name right. I did. W-Y. Oh. Back down the Gwyn rabbit hole. And tabloids, hold on. Nope, not in Team Blast. We've looked at both of these. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No. Okay, hold on. There might be a connection here. Let's go to Spider Search. I need to find a tabloid name. Yeah. It just gives me the exact same search, yeah. No. How can we connect Gwen to who she's married? I noticed it. I noticed it. So, hold on. We've already checked you. Who did you marry, though? This is... If we can find out who you married, maybe... No, that's not going to really help us. What else? We've done... What about if I do Bill Williams? Nothing. Wild Bill Williams. By searching for variations of Gwyn Rootree, you come across some mentions of a marriage to Wild Bill Williams. They divorced before the birth of her second child. That doesn't help me. We already kind of knew the divorce happened. That doesn't help me. Who's Wild Bill Williams? There isn't anybody. It's not going to be a Rootree. We don't actually have that many names left. We know it's an unknown male. We know that. We just don't know who. And I don't quite have the lead that I want. I feel like I'm missing like a film periodics. I've got a teen kids one, I've got a music one, I've got the local one, and I've got business, but I don't have the try divorce. Oh, in the Butler Time one, you can. Divorce. Like, I feel like I'm missing a periodic. Maybe we need something else for that. Right. Okay. Hold on. Here. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. So, take an analyze of this. She wanted somebody to stand all the way over here. So let's see this. So this is who she's talking about. Or is it? No, because that's the Freebirds. So, who looks like him? He does. Try and search Starlet in Spider Search because Gwen was going to be in it. Oh, she was, wasn't she? That's here. Starlet. It's not a bad shout. Oh, cooking. I didn't even. I thought I'd already done that. Is that periodic then? Is it? It is, right. Hey, we're back cooking. Good catch. Very good catch. Gwen Roottree was often in Starlet. Most mentions were around the time of her divorce in 1958 from Wild Bill Williams. The gossip is speculating and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that she announced her divorce. Now, when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was pregnant again. Others mentioned the rumour that Wild Bill had multiple affairs which left her heartbroken. There's also an interview from earlier in mid-1957 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, "The power of the name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached about the importance of family names and honouring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. Nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottree has power. Cornwall." Mine is Cornwall. There you go. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild, combined with the alliteration of Williams, is incredibly memorable. So Wild Bill isn't proper. Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a Starlet exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with the Roottree for the last name, not Williams. But we also plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll both honour. So, okay. Okay. And his real name, Walter Forsyth. Yes! An apology to all the ladies. I'm actually taking earlier. I did a friend a favour. Cooking with gas. He was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part in it. Wouldn't you know? That son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing. It wasn't his fault. Apparently the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my calibre. I got the last laugh though. I met someday. She spent most of the film crying. She was playing a soldier's wife. But even through the tears, she was incredible. I tend to have a reputation, but this one's true love. I only have eyes for her. Ironically, the third rumour is of his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including another actress. An American reader on vacation in Paris claimed he overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing while she was holding a baby visibly pregnant. Not long after that, Gwen announced she was divorcing Wild Bill and that she was pregnant again, giving this rumour more credibility. Okay. Okay, that's good. So they're also tipping into alliteration. So, and they're keeping the name Root Tree. So alliteration is same first letter as last letter. So there you go. There's the two. Robert and Ronald. Problem is we don't know which order is which. We don't know who's first. Try looking up the names. It's not a bad shout. I think that might be a bit on the nose, but we'll give it a try. Robert Root Tree. No. Yeah, I'm just about to. Oh, they would be involved. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a bit much, I think. Nah. I thought that might have been a bit too much. One of them could be involved in the. Hold on. What was it? RR versus. What was that called again? Did I take it down as a no? I didn't. Okay, hold on then. Let's go back to... what's it called? It's called the Clancid Trust. This. Really? Okay. That surprises me a wee bit. Damn. Damn. Gonna quickly have some juice. So we know for a fact that this is Ronald and Robert. We don't know in which order. He looks older. He's got a film thing on, so is there? There isn't. But if he's at, what, film school did it say? It would be college. I'm just going to put them both as college. Like that. And kind of leave it there. So are any of them... Oh, they're not. They're not visible in the Free Spirits. Because they're not there. Why has this got 5 clues to it? We've checked this. Why has that got 5 clues? Try the new one, Scarlet. Starlet, yeah. I mean, we can, but I don't imagine. Starlet's a film one, and these are musical people, so I don't imagine that it'll show up in Starlet. Yeah, I didn't think so. Because this is film based. This is music based, not film based. So I don't imagine so. But why is it 5? Like, maybe the lyrics have no, explicitly states they don't. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. It explicitly states that, yeah. Because so does their other song as well, doesn't it? Oh no, their other song is no longer there. Okay. I have no idea that's got 6 clues in it. And this has got 6 clues in it as well somehow. I wonder if he is no longer an artist. Well, no, I mean, no, he'd be at college, wouldn't he? Daft dog. He'd be at college because he was handing in stuff, so let's go assume he's at college. I'm just trying something here. Nah, okay. Okay. I think that this is a bit of a dead end at the moment. I think our focus should be here. I think our focus should be on these 3. Let's break it down. Let's break these down. Let's get these sorted. We know that one of them is going to be a lawyer. Right. There's apparently 10 clues here. So Edward's going to be the lawyer. We haven't looked this up. So what's... Lauren Roottree. We haven't looked this up. She released something under a different name. Hold on. Lauren Rafferty. Releases X marks the spot. No. but that'll be under Roottree. Frankie, enough. Go lie down. Go and lie down. Stop it now. According to the back of this book, this is a buried treasure by Lauren Roottree, and from the author of the Court series. It also says keep an eye out for Lauren Roottree's next book, Revisiting the Diaries 10 years later. Okay, hold on. That is something I want. Gimme. Oh, here we go. We're back. Contains no pictures, but has new many passages that reflect on our thoughts 10 years later. One major event happened between the releases of Lauren's outlook and certain changes. The death of Elias. So Elias has died when this book is getting written. 2 seconds. No. Go and lie down. Stop it now. Right, so we've got a new book. There. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between release and re-release of Lauren's diaries. Elias Roottree had died. During the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud, Samantha Roottree. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retained the right to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. Okay. It was then that the scandalous secret came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She'd been told her parents died. Apparently Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. So wait a minute. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Elias Jr. harboured a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr., her baby, Samantha. She was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. So that's not even right. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. And that was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr. and they finally married in their 50s. So Eli Jr. did marry her then. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place, even though she was not part of the Clancy Trust. He wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. Oh. Clearly I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. Ernie and the kids were lucky to have her. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help with the family in their own way. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It's been a long time since any real Roottree was excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. And we've got Ernie in that place there, yeah. Oh. What I'm most ashamed about is not figuring it all out myself. Sam is a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have a thick glasses. Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered, which we've... Yep. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operation passed to Samantha Roottree for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Wow, you are not a nice person. Pop warned us to stay away from the farm for years. We never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house where grew up in a house with him and his roommate Mr. Miller. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problem with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. Oh, this is Clark. This is a page of additional notes and context from the Clark. After reading this, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottree has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before that. Just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlit, but neither of us have ever taken a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in the family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, but Lord knows Eli... I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped more than I can say a word for Clancy or Edward. Huh. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage is solid as a rock. Pun intended. So who knows what causes these things? That's Eli C. That's Eli C. James's dad is Eli. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio, but still, I don't think a marriage on such shaky foundations can last, and Lord knows I was right the last time. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how similar names there are. I get it, there are 4 Eli's for Pete's sake, but that's how it is. Some would say I saw Eli in the town and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, uncle, my cousin. And that's why they became Uncle Junior, Miracles Eli, and Eli C. Miracles Eli, Eli C, Uncle Junior. Lie down. So we've got them in the right place. Our family names have always been unusual. Grandpa Eli's was a believer in using the name of each generation to honour the last. His father and Grandma Gwendolyn's father were named Edward and Clancy. So you see where my pop's name came from. Okay. But I don't know which order they are. One thing that's always been consistent in our family, though, is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. So that makes you Clancy Jr., which makes you Edward, which makes you the lawyer. We're going, we're getting. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. With women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline. But who was Eli's mother? Women's name tends to get all mixed up as there's no as the generation gone. I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of Junior. I mean, that's a valid point. Why isn't there like a Kirsty Junior? That's a good point. It's a good point. That's a very valid point. Why isn't there a female version of Junior? So if you're reading my diary and confused, you're not alone. Even government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy root tree. I had to break the news. They got my father's name backwards. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. EC. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they did not. Ho 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 ho! Oh, could be onto something there. Apparently, this is the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes Based on the teacher's name, she must have been in the 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I did not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told him he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop's my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing, so I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. She told me not to worry. I'm glad she is gone. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Has Mr. Edward Clancy Roottree been a little horn dog? Is she actually related to him? Did he pump somebody and use the name Edward Clancy rather than Clancy Edward? Oh, it's coming out now. Right. So, we got a lot of information there. Let's take the pictures now of these 3 guys. Clonk, clonk, clonk. Because I suspect that I'm not going to be able to brute. Oh! Yes! I was right with the mechanic! Oh. Yes. Yes.
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation. But I can't reveal everything. Not yet.
That's Sam! I bet you that's Sam! She's going to reveal what happened. That's why she doesn't want people to know. I bet it is. I bet it is. She's going to reveal what happened between them because to clear the eight.
I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake. So I'll try to explain why.
I'm
It's
enjoying
true,
this.
I'm working with lawyers. But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers.
It's definitely Sam.
I'm on the verge of releasing a book. And it's not kind to the Roottrees. Especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often isn't.
It's definitely Sam.
But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy. So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story.
Definitely
If
Sam.
I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say
Yeah.
that the work
Okay.
you're doing
We know who it is.
very personal to me. To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in. Also, there are fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from here on out.
Ugh.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to
She's not giving us any more information. No, that means we've got all the information that we need available to us. No, 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 no. God damn it. Also, bug. No. Right, first things first. Those didn't click. So that tells me that they're not correct. That's fine. We don't have jobs for these. And we don't have jobs for the other two. Well, I think I do. Because there was something that was said about him in our first book. Because Edward... So Edward's... We've got that. It's not you that I'm looking at. Pot forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Oh, that was... The only one that had... was Carl. Oh, wait a minute then. Because oh, we could have figured that out. Because Clancy sent Carl to the academy. We could have figured that out earlier. Okay. Okay. The problem is we still don't know what Clancy does as a job. And we don't know what Elias does as a job. I'm really chuffed that I figured this out. We've not got a lot of root trees left. No, we really don't. We've got November root tree. We've got Christina. We've got Wolf root tree. Candy root tree as well. We've got only one gentleman left. Wolf. Right. That was worth a shot. Nah, that was worth a shot. Right. I would like to get one more set of 3 done before I call the stream at an end tonight. So let's try. Let's try hard. Let's properly go for it. I need to find out what these 3 women have done as jobs. That's Gwendolyn, Gwyneth, and Bonnie. This has got... Caroline Morden. artists. I mean, it's not a bad shout, but it's a bit out of the... I don't like how this... I mean, this has got to give me something, because it says it's got 6. Doesn't really give much, does it? But it says 6. What's PF flag? Oh! Oh! Okay. Oh! I mean, that's a hint that obviously she's... I mean... The problem is I don't want to say that they're artists when I've got literally no evidence to show it. There's one in there, nothing in there, one there. So there's a hint here somewhere, and there's a hint here somewhere. Doesn't tell me much. At least nothing that's jumping out at me. It's giving me these, but the problem is I don't have what his job is. I don't have what his job is. And there's one here. Right. Right. I could be about to get in big trouble for this. And I'm doing it purely based on the date and time of when this game is setting out things and being said. I want to focus on one line. here. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seem to pursue passive knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pops seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over the department once he retires. Okay. I think that's Edward's daughter. I think that's November Roottree. And I'm not happy with how my brain's made the connection, and I really hope I'm wrong. Unless they're both actors now, maybe? Struggling with that. Giving up on your dreams to look after a man? Yeah, I can see what you're thinking. That's a very valid point, actually. You know that. Let's see if they were all housewives. No. I can see what you mean with that. I can see what you mean. No, we're clearly missing something from these two. We haven't had any hint of this. Or this. But one of these must be wrong, otherwise all three would be correct. And thank God I probably got that wrong. Which means she could be there. No, she couldn't because she's in the picture. I think she's there. I think that's her there. Because he is in that picture as well, isn't he? He's in the Free Spirits picture, isn't he? There. I think I was right. I think this is her. About searching Robert Rootree on Spider Search, or maybe a nickname. We can give it a try. I think I've tried Robert Rootree. Robert Rootree. Yeah, I've tried that. Robbie, we can try. Why not? Robbie. Oh! There's not much relevant information about Robbie Rootree. In a comment thread on a message board about televised cliches, you find a thread called "Why Was My Brother Trouble Cancelled?" Because I know something called Robbie. Yes, a decent enough shout. One user speculates. I think it's because the writing went downhill in season 2. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Another person replied, maybe it's due to the rumour about Robbie Rootree in Silver Screen magazine. Oh, here we go. Silver Screen magazine was a Hollywood Insiders magazine focusing on less on actors and actresses and more nitty-gritty of writing, directing, costuming, set design, film promotion, and other elements of filmmaking. It ran from 1983 to 1993. It was bought by bigger and more recognisable magazines a few years ago, and the website now redirects you to the new magazine. The new magazine doesn't appear to have any relevance to your case. But we did get a periodical there. So... why, mister, were you... oh. Why were you in this? A small rumours article from 1992 claims that self-taught television screenwriter Robbie Rootree was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in a French court of law. That's RR. It seems he, again, allegedly embezzled from the company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit. Oh, okay. That left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. He then fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then Silver Screen continues to insist this is all very much allegedly assaulted an officer who came to question him. The article's author says they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but received information from an anonymous source and were able to confirm through public record that there was a trial involving Robert Rootree around the time that Brother Trouble was cancelled. Okay, so screenwriters. Is that an option? Not quite enough yet, but there is something there. RR Productions. Defunct production company responsible for Brother Trouble. You find a comment on an US board stating that Brother Trouble ended up being the ironic name Considering the rumours about RR Productions, Ron and Robert Roottrees. Ron Roottrees. Hold on then. Oh, we're getting somewhere. So Ron is the oldest. It looks like it. So I've got them the right way around. Unless their pictures are the wrong way around. I mean, that definitely looks younger than that. Okay. There's an article on Ron Roottrees titled "Don't Blame Nepotism, He Gets Results." After finding some small screen success, first as a director for many soap opera episodes, and then stepping in as a showrunner to turn around his own television production company. Yes! Oh, brilliant. Hey! So, keep reading this. Ron was born in the US, but grew up in Paris with his once famous mother and his brother Robbie. There you go. He gobbled up American cinema whenever he could, and when he was old enough to return to Hollywood to attend film school. He brings a special kind of charisma and the eye for unusual shots, particularly when it comes to comedy. Those he has worked with have gone on record saying he's an attentive director who can work with actors to make sure the timing of the joke lands perfectly. Ron plans to pitch new shows to major television as soon as 1986. Until then, he plans to find the right project. He's occasionally called up his younger brother for... There you go, his younger brother, for script punch-ups, and has thought about bringing him into the fold. Right, which tells me that I'm completely wrong with that. Thank Christ for that. Oh my God. So. We've still got a bit left to go. We haven't identified these two. But, oh, I think, I mean, how long have we been streaming now? 3.5 hours, yeah. Okay, I think we are going to call the stream at an end tonight. And then tomorrow we will hopefully finish this game. Quiet, Frankie. Don't do that. So,